Okay, hello everybody. Glad you're with us here today, midweek Wednesday with Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy in association with our good friends at Yellow Hammer News and yellowhammernews.com. As you can clearly see, that is not Barry McKnight in the panel next to me here. That is Warren Sr., of course, part of the team here at Longshore and McKnight. Barry is traveling today, as you well know, to Omaha, Nebraska. Gurn, have you ever been to Omaha, Nebraska?
I have never been to Omaha, Nebraska. I have never been to Nebraska. It's a state I wanted to. I've been to probably 40 of the 50 states, but I have not been to Nebraska.
Neither have I. Now that I think about that, I have never set foot in the Cornhusker State, but Barry is on his way there. He'll join us tomorrow as Troy gets ready for the College World Series. They'll be facing West Virginia in Game 1 on Friday. So we'll be talking about that. Obviously, the Crimson Tide of Alabama is there as well. Who'll be taking on the Oklahoma Sooners, a team that they took 2 of 3 from in the regular season. So a lot to look forward to. And we got a lot to look forward to here today on the program. We're going to be fast-paced right out of the gate because Senator Tommy Tuberville is going to join us in about 9 minutes here on the program from the nation's capital. Really looking forward to talking to him today, as we always do. Obviously, he's very involved with student athletes, college student athletes, to be just candid about it. The Student Athlete Act is something that Coach Tuberville has been very much a part of. He'll talk about that with us here today and his thoughts about where that is going and how it's progressing. We'll do that in just a couple of minutes. Of course, CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News at the bottom of the hour, as always on Wednesdays. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. He'll join us at the bottom of hour number 2. Theotis, no Josh Harris today, maybe later in the week. We'll see how it goes. He had something come up today, but we'll see how that plays out later in the week. We'll see with Josh. But I will say this, Gurn. I understand there was a large crowd at Jordan-Hare Stadium last night for this exhibition soccer match between.
Wait! Are you about to take your words back, or what?
No, not at all.
What?
Not at all. Because I knew I had an ace in the hole 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, when this was all brought up, that there would be fans on the field at Bryant-Denny. Obviously, there would not be at Jordan-Hare. So a lot of people overlooked that little small detail. So I kind of had an advantage on that one, knowing that with fans on the field, it would eclipse the attendance total of Jordan-Hare. Maybe it's not fair. Maybe I kind of got over on everybody. But, hey, it is what it is. But I will say I am impressed by the reported number of people that were there last night. And Messi did play, I understand.
And scored.
Yeah.
Hey, look, John, say what you want to. This is a huge deal. I'm having lunch with somebody yesterday, and they tell me they secured 4 corporate tickets from their company for one of the Atlanta games. Value $5,000 per.
Woo!
Yeah, they're box seats, and that would interest you.
Yeah.
But $5,000 per. It's a big deal. I've got one of my partners in Mobile. She and her husband are going to Los Angeles for the opener, which is next week or whenever it is.
Yeah, I think you might have heard. I was playing in a golf event back in October over in Atlanta. And we're just hanging around before we all go tee off. And there's a guy in the locker room with an iPad. And I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? And he's just sitting going and going and going and going. And he is trying to secure tickets to the games in Atlanta. And he couldn't, and he didn't get them. And I'm thinking, wow, man, this must be a big deal.
Well, I'll say this. It's what's interesting, and everybody always pays attention to this. But I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, they had a big match down in, I think, Miami.
Yeah.
And fans rushed the gate to get in, and it was chaos.
Wow.
So for all of these matches, there's going to be like 2 different barriers. You know, there's going to be a significant amount of security. I've heard Secret Service has, you know, and the other security forces, they all join things.
Oh, sure. Oh, I mean, I couldn't imagine the security.
I mean, drones are a big deal.
Oh, hell yeah.
You've got airspace controls over all these stadiums, and they've got everybody's focused on ground and everything. But just like the other night for the Knicks game.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that security they had 2 or 3 different perimeters, and you had to get there early. And
Barry
they're saying the same thing.
Barry mentioned earlier in the week about the Alabama-Georgia game. I think it was the Tua game, the 2nd and 26 game for the national title. Trump was at that game, and I remember having to be in the stadium like 4 hours before the game started.
Wasn't that rain and cold?
Yeah.
Wasn't that rain and cold? Everybody was standing outside in the rain and cold.
Well, the media entrance moved a little swifter than the general population, so to speak, but yes. It was raining and cold. I just didn't get as wet as many others.
So we have a close friend whose son was a walk-on that team, and she and her husband became like the team parents. So there's like a team. They were like the walk-on representative.
Yeah.
And she can get into anything sooner than you. She'll get you a table where she schmoozes everybody. And at that game, she busted it and got in and convinced a guy to let her in early. Okay. Wow. And she saved, and the way the parents' tickets work, it's first come, first serve. You just got to be on the list, and then you go in, unless you're a star.
Yeah.
But her son was not a star.
Ooh,
but she sat next to Mr. and Miss Tua at that game.
Oh boy. Wow.
And we're all over the TV. Because they got in there, rushed the gate, got in there before they were supposed to, made up some excuse about something and got in before security got hammered down. So anyway.
That sounds kind of Longshore-esque if I do go third person.
Very Longshore-esque. Yes, yeah. I would say that.
All right, what do you say we take our first break today of the show? As I mentioned, Senator Tommy Tuberville scheduled here in about 3 minutes. We'll take a quick break, come back, and get ready for the senator. Got a lot to talk about. Way offsides. Jeff was at Auburn last night. He was impressed with the show that Auburn put on for the World Cup exhibition game last night. We'll get into that a little bit more in the program as well. If you were there, let us know about it. Sounded like it was a great atmosphere, great environment. Back with more of Longshore McKnight after this quick timeout. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Man, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Don't you stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All righty, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here on this Wednesday. Hey, hit that like button. hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends and associates to do the same thing. You can always check us out on your schedule. Obviously, we produce the show every weekday morning from 7 until 9 a.m., and then we put it out there on the World Wide Web, so to speak. Social media, it's on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, so many ways to consume it. Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com, the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. You can check it out there, and we really appreciate it. We understand people have a life, and they can't be here from 7 to 9 a.m., so we've got it there for you on your schedule. Pick it up, listen to it, and watch it as you will. Coach Tuberville is about to join us here on the program from the nation's capital. Obviously, a lot going on up there as well. He's a pretty busy man, to say the least, with everything going on in D.C. and little.
So, John, how would you fix it?
What's that?
How would you fix it?
How would I fix
college football?
Well, I've always been,
it's that difficult.
Well,
There's
I've
no
been a
good
big
answer,
proponent of the big boy league. I
Yeah.
just want to go SEC, Big Ten, and let everybody else fight for themselves. Some people out there think that'll never happen. I'm not so sure. I think if they get jacked around in so many different ways, as has been the case over the last couple of years. I think the frustration is building. I think the TV networks are spending a lot of money, and they want to get the most profit out of it that they can. And the way they do that is to get the best matchups week to week as long as they can. And it's I don't know. I know it's not good for the smaller conferences. It hurts them. But I just kind of get the feeling that's where we're heading. I know people think that's not going to happen. It'll never happen.
Well, we keep going back, though. If you're competing for a championship, that means a lot.
Sure it does.
So allow people to compete for a let the lower levels compete for a championship.
Yeah.
So,
hey, joining us now from the nation's capital, Senator Tommy Tuberville. He's always nice enough to hop on with us. Coach, Barry is in transit with Troy baseball. I know you've heard the Trojans made the College World Series, so he's not with us today, but one of our other team members, Warren Matthews, is pinch hitting for him today. Hope you're doing well, Coach.
I'm doing good. Congratulations to Troy and Alabama. And, I saw a little bit of Ole Miss's game the other day. They just didn't quite have the pitching at the end, but at the end of the day, it's pretty good to have a couple of teams in the tournament.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I never thought the state of Alabama would be so excited about college baseball, Coach. And over the last 3 to 4 weeks, it has certainly been the case. A lot of excitement about the baseball. Coach, tell us about the Student Athlete Act. I know it's something you've been very much involved in. You've contacted over 200 ADs across the country, written them a letter about this. Where do we stand?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to educate people on what's going on up here. Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell on the Commerce Committee came up with a bill, and they're trying. I like to give them that, but unfortunately, this thing has gotten way out of hand. Their bill just goes in there. It goes into scheduling. It goes into conference realignment. Goes into lawsuits, and then it's got my 2 things in there, which I'll hotline my bill tomorrow. They'll object to it, but 5 years to play 5, and then one-time transfer. That's it. But they've got that in their bill, but unfortunately they put in there, well, we're going to have a committee that will look at waivers for that. Well, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you do that, we know what happens. My grandmother had a cold my second year, and I had to go see her a couple of times, so I get that year back. We can't do that. We got to get rid of this nonsense and say, listen, we got to have a couple of standards here. Both of them are eligibility to put these kids back in school and get a degree at the end of the time. I don't care how much money they make. Mine is an eligibility bill. Yeah. Okay, they try to hit every facet out there, and it's not going to work. It won't pass. Mine probably won't pass, but at least we're trying.
Yeah. I think, Coach, that they're with the fan base, we sense frustration that there's a lot of talk but there's not a lot of action. I mean, we've heard politicians, we've heard commissioners from the Big Ten and the SEC are doing a lot of talking. Our viewers and listeners are wanting to know, when's there going to be some action?
Welcome to my world. Washington, D.C., it's all it is. You talk a great game, but you don't do anything because you're afraid you'll lose a vote. And we got to get away from that. Unfortunately, that'll never happen up here in Washington, D.C., because people love to be in politics and they love to keep a job for some reason. I don't know why they would like a job like this, but it's I guess it's better than being a lawyer in some areas, and most of them are lawyers. But, I hate it for the fans and what college sports has done over the years. It's something that we all look forward to. But it's a disaster, and it's going to get worse. You got teams this year spending in football $55-60 million on their team. And what's going to happen if we don't get a solution to this? What's going to happen is these universities are going to start selling off their athletic programs to private equity, and it's going to be minor league sports, and nobody's going to get a degree. You hate it for women's sports and Olympic sports because they're the ones that's going to get left out. I hate it for high school athletes because they work all their life to get that one thing that they've always wanted, to go to their university and get that scholarship. Well, all the scholarships now are going to these transfers that can't make it, or don't want to make it, or don't want to stay at one of these schools. And so it's become free agency is what it's become, and pay for play. And it's just unfortunate that we've allowed this to happen. But if we would just do 5 years to play 5, no red shirt, no exceptions, don't give me any kind of reason you want to come back, and one-time transfer without any exceptions after that, I mean, it would solve 80% of the problems. But it's not going to happen.
Coach, if this gets fixed, assuming it can get fixed, who will fix it? Who is it? The TV? Is it money? Is it, it's difficult for what y'all are trying to do.
Well, it's like, that's a good point. And it's like anything else. It'll have to go sink to the bottom, and you'll have to have sports like Arkansas dropping men and women's tennis. You'll have to see these sports start being dropped. And then finally the people will get involved. The fans will be the one that will say, okay, enough's enough. I'm not paying $1 million for a box. I'm not paying $1,000 just to have the ability to buy a ticket. I'm done. Y'all fix it or I'm done. I think the fans are going to hold the keys to the kingdom here. If people keep buying these tickets at $300 a seat, suites for $2 or $3 million, I think it will continue on. But sooner or later, you're going to look up in the stands, and the cheap sheets that really thrive and push college sports ain't going to be there. People are going to go home, and it's just going to be unfortunate.
Coach Tommy Tuberville joining us here this morning. Senator, I'm with you there. I think fan fatigue is already set in. I mean, they're already asking them for seat licensing, the price of tickets, parking, tailgating. I mean, the commitment to go to a college football game is really an entire weekend. And I think fans are getting tired of being nickeled and dimed to death. And now NIL has come on, and they're asking them to contribute to that. You touched on the money aspect of it. We know what's going on at Texas Tech, Indiana, some other schools like that have $50 million rosters. Coach, how in the world do Auburn and Alabama compete with rosters and budgets like that?
Well, you really don't. You just try to keep up with the Joneses, and I know everybody's trying to come up with money, but year in and year out, this is not a one-year deal. Yeah. I mean, you look at this, and some of these teams can afford to pay for a while because of their big donors from these big corporations, $40, $50, $60 million. But again, what about women's athletics? What about Olympic sports? What about baseball? It's just sad to see it happen. And then what about the education aspect to it? Go and get a degree. Nobody gets a degree anymore. It's just sad to see this happen. And it's, I'm looking forward to seeing some kind of solution, but I think the solution is not in politics. The solution is what everybody else looks at. Solution is going to be about, support, and the money's not going to be there.
Coach, were you surprised that the quarterback at Texas Tech, Brendan Sorsby, is going to be able to play this fall based on his gambling issues?
Shocked. But, not really shocked because, what's happened? Politics gets involved. The federal government got involved. You had a judge that get involved. And I don't know the whole situation with the kid. You hate it, the problems that he's had. But somebody's got to be accountable. And there was a couple of things that we always talked about at least once a week with our football team at every place I went to. It was about drugs. It was about, supplements, all those things that you take that you get tests for. And it was about gambling. Every week, because, if you broke a rule in gambling and got caught, it was the death sentence, in terms of having any eligibility. But it's just, this is our country now. We have these people that, the NCAA did the right thing, and then they get a federal judge to overturn it. There's a couple of players this year that got NCAA said, no, you can't have your 6th year or 7th year. Enough's enough. And what happens? They go to a judge, and judge says overrides the NCAA. How do you function like that? How does an organization function if you don't have control?
Coach, I know we got to let you go here in just a second, but I did want to ask you this. It seems that the nation's capital is going to be the place to be over the 4th of July. We got a UFC fight. We got a Indy-style race going on up there. Man, it looks like it's going to be an exciting time celebrating the 250th birthday.
Yeah, President Trump's cleaned this disaster up here for 4 years under the Democrats. This was a cesspool. And it was out of control. Animals were running the zoo. And President Trump, every corner now you see National Guard. They cleaned it up. And, it's just unfortunate he had to do that. But, again, with the Democrat policies, that's just the way it is. And it's going to be a great time starting this weekend. I've got an opportunity to go to the White House and see the fights this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I think it's Sunday night, the UFC fights. Mm-hmm. You said you have NASCAR. We've got on the mall, the big national mall out there, they're building a state fair where every state will have a booth. 50 states, it's kind of, and they'll put up rides and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
President Trump's doing it right. Folks, you don't have but one 250-year celebration. and the Democrats are screaming and yelling. He's cleaning up the reflection pool or whatever that is. It is beautiful now. They have let this place go up here. We're crumbling. The infrastructure, just like our whole country, we lose, guys, listen to this. The Democrats are complaining about spending a little money on celebration. We lose $100 million an hour to fraud up here. $100 million. Folks, wake the hell up and run these people out of these offices that keep voting for this nonsense. $100 million an hour. And we're worried, and we're wondering why we're having a tough time with our roads and our bridges. Because the money is going out the door to these crooked politicians. It's sad, and nobody says anything about it.
Well, certainly you and the president do. We appreciate that, your honesty, no doubt, Coach. Really do. Hey, I know you're busy today. You got another meeting, and we always appreciate you hopping on with us, Coach. If we don't see you before the 4th, have a great one. Look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right, football season for long. Hopefully we can salvage some of it, right?
Yeah, boy, no kidding. It's going to be fun. A lot of excitement. People can't wait.
All right, see you soon, guys.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. That's Senator Tommy Tuberville joining us here today from the nation's capital. Always appreciate his time here on the program with us. Man, college athletics. I've been having a bad feeling about it for a while. I'm not sure I feel better about it today. How about you, Gurn? Oh, you got to turn his mic on. He's going micless on us.
Got micless on you. Get a little feedback. It's like we have the greatest sport in all of sports. College football. Yep. Pro football is great. And it's got it, and they do it right. They do their brand. They know what they're doing. They've got control of the situation. arguably in the Southeast, college football is the greatest sport going. Falls are spectacular. We are doing everything we can to tear it down and ruin it. It's like everything you can possibly do. You can't even intentionally do it. It's like you do all these things keep happening. You're like, no way. Come on. You had to kind of explain. You're telling me a guy who bet on his own team is going to be allowed to play. You're kidding, right? I mean, things like that. I mean, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Somebody can play a 6th or 7th year. Really?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, come on. I tell you what, I do like Coach Tuberville's idea of that. Those are two simple fixes that need to happen. Basically, you get one free transfer, and then you go back to the old system.
That's right.
That gives a little bit of stability to a roster. And the 5 for 5, other than like Mormon missions and things like that, which are legitimate, we've had those exceptions for years. I mean, let's go. I mean, those are two easy fixes.
I'm with you, Gurn. Why would you self-inflicted wounds is what I call them? Why would you do that? When you've got a sport that is humming, everybody loves it. The footballs and sees Saturdays in the fall. It's great. I'm with you. I understand there's television networks are seeing, hey, there's ways to make money. Players want to get a piece of the pie. I get it. But all this transferring and all this gotten out of control, you got billionaires with $50 million rosters. That isn't going to cut it. And I know people think it's not going to happen, and maybe it won't. But do I see a day that Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey are just so frustrated? They say, to hell with y'all. We're the ones that are ruling the roost. We're going to do our own thing. You go figure it out yourself. We've tried to work with you, and it just ain't working. I wonder about that.
Well, no, it's very simple. And Coach Tuberville hit on it. What's going to happen is money.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is private equity, a large fund, is going to present like $500 billion and put it in a fund. And they're going to say, okay, guys, everybody that wants to come get some of this money, come join us. Okay. SEC and Big Ten will already be there as part of the deal. And then you're going to select whoever else from the ACC and the Big 12 that you want. And then Notre Dame. And then anybody else that's an independent that maybe you want. So you're going to end up with what, 50, 60 teams.
Yep, maybe so.
The NCAA will still have its championship. It'll just look like FCS. And so the other schools, and, the question becomes, can you play other schools that aren't in your, quote, super league? Call it a super league, call it whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm not saying that's the answer, but that's where it's going. But do we have a comparable? Yeah. It's called Live Golf.
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's exactly what it is.
I get it. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
The difference with Live Golf is they only got the top 10 players.
Yeah.
They got 10 top players. They didn't get all 60 schools. So,
hey, let's take a quick timeout. Our man CJ Duncan is going to hop on with us here in just a moment or two. I think I see him in the green room. So we'll check in with CJ Duncan from Yellowhammer News. Keep those chats coming, man. A lot of comments and opinions on the River Region Straw chat line today. We love that. You can always email us longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. Quick timeout. We're back with more right after this. The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. Many well-known restaurants in the River Region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here at the bottom of the hour number one here with Longshore and McKnight. Barry is traveling with Troy baseball. They're heading to the College World Series. He'll join us tomorrow from Omaha. That means Gurn Sr. is pitch hitting today. And as we have done before, two Vanderbilt grads on the screen at the same time, C.J. Duncan and Gurn Sr. from Greenville, Alabama. How in the world do we do it? Getting all this show your gold on the screen at one time. CJ, see you there in the green room. We're going to try to get you on this. There we go. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm always glad to be joined by Commodore and to outnumber you at least for once in a month, you know?
I love it.
So, CJ, you're in the glory years of Vanderbilt. Back in the day, instead of stand up and show your gold, people would say stand up and blow your nose. So that was what we dealt with.
Well, we've come a long way. Well, we sure have it, and it's exciting times for the student athletes there at Vanderbilt. A lot of great things are coming their way, and I know that they're going to continue to work hard to continue to stack up some wins. Hopefully, we work hard this summer and get some wins during the football season.
CJ,
John, let me say one thing, a little history lesson. My brother played golf there at Vanderbilt from 74 to 78, and they were terrible. But we have the number 2 golfer is from Enterprise, Alabama, and his father grew up in my neighborhood. So his name's John Mark Steed, and he's a hell of a player, did really well at NCAA. So we got a little more Alabama representation up in Nashville.
You know, Gurn, I believe that young man works with a guy in Troy that I've worked with before, a golf.
He does.
Yeah,
he does. That's his swing coach.
I've seen that young man coming out of his facility as I was going in. So, yeah, Vanderbilt's got a good one there. CJ, I know you played baseball growing up. As I mentioned earlier, Barry is on his way to Omaha with the Troy Trojans. What an incredible regional and super regional for the Trojans. They're heading out there. Alabama's heading out there. Of course, Auburn got beat by Ole Miss. I know that was a tough one there. But, boy, what about baseball in the state of Alabama?
Oh, it's incredible. It's awesome for our state to finally kind of get the recognition that it's deserved. But Alabama, just like Georgia, just like Mississippi and Texas and Tennessee, you know, we are a well-rounded state when it comes to sports in general. And baseball does not fall short at all to that. So I'm excited to see these teams have the opportunity to go for it all. The SEC, you know, we've slacked a little bit in football and basketball. We've allowed the Big Ten to catch up a little bit. They still have, I tell people all the time, that the Big Ten still has about 5 or 6, 7 more years before they can even go on the kind of run that the SEC's been on the last decade, including the NFL draft. But we allowed them to get a little confidence, but good enough on us that baseball has kind of recovered a little bit, and the SEC is still pretty dominant.
And those Trojans in the Sun Belt.
And the Troy
I watch
Trojans
a
as
lot
well.
about those games, man. You know, they got a lot of kids from around here, CJ. Guys played at Pike Road and places like that. So there's certainly some representation
Yes,
from the
well,
Central Alabama area.
When it comes to Troy, when I was coming out, Troy was one of the last few schools I considered as far as going to play football, and they were going to allow me to play both ways and do the whole Travis Hunter thing for a little bit. And so, because they recruited me to play defense, but I said, well, listen, the only way I can come is if I touch the ball a little bit. And they said, we'll figure it out when you get here, one of those kind of things. But so Troy's always got a special place in my heart, and when I see those coaches, I make sure to go and give them a big hug even today.
Sure. CJ, your thoughts about what's going on out at Texas Tech? Brandon Sorsby, a serious gambling problem, betting on his own team, and they're going to let him continue to play.
Yeah, you know what? This is the one thing in sports that I think everybody normally agrees on. It's just kind of the forbidden fruit in a sense. You just stay away from gambling altogether. I know some folks may sit there and say, hey, well, if I'm gambling on soccer or UFC fights, it doesn't matter. But in this era, when you are not short for change, there's no reason for you to continue to try to gamble at a high level. Now it's gotten to a point where you've left it up to Texas courts, and we all know how political those things can get. We are living it right now here in the state of Alabama, not necessarily sports related, but we understand that the courts can also be political. And of course, with the donor base that Texas Tech has, I don't want to insinuate too much, but it's not a surprise that their starting quarterback is ready to go for the fall.
Yeah. And we had Coach Tuberville on earlier this morning, and we were asking him, about Texas Tech and Indiana and the types of monies that are, coming into those institutions. How does Auburn and Alabama compete with schools like that? And
you can't compete with oil money.
You can't. You cannot do it. And he talked about something that I know we've talked a lot about, CJ, what you're asking fans to do. Not only buying tickets, but seat licenses. And then, of course, they want you to contribute to NIL. And then, of course, the cost of going to a game over the weekend, parking and lodging, and food.
Hotel.
It is a lot of money that they're asking you to spend to support these programs.
It's going to get to a point where some of your true home base, the foundational pieces of your program, the fans, they're going to spend so much money trying to build the program up that they can't even attend the games. They're going to have to watch it on TV, and I think that means we're going in the wrong direction, right? I think that all of this is for the fans and of course the student athlete to try to help his life's trajectory as well. And so if we can't do anything about that, then we're missing the boat on it.
Yeah, I'm fearful. I just don't have a good feeling about where we're going. We've had a lot of talk, but not a lot of action. I know Greg Sankey, Tony Patini, the commissioners of the SEC, the Big Ten, have spoken out on this. Senator Ted Cruz is, got ideas and things of that nature, but it's all talk, and I don't see a lot of action. People say that it's not going to happen, but I still am getting this feeling, CJ, that down the road, I think particularly the Big Ten and the SEC are going to say, we've had enough. We're tired of this. We're going to go do our own thing. Do you see that happening?
Man, you know what? Maybe I'm a traditional guy. And, I remember, there being, I guess, 5 major conferences. And that's what I grew up on. And that's what I enjoyed. Even, me and my buddies, we say, Pac-12 after dark, we enjoyed staying up late and watching USC play somebody or whoever, or Oregon when they had Michael James. He was like the fastest guy in the country at the time. I enjoyed that. And, before Missouri was even in the SEC, a lot of people, my age or younger don't even remember that. And they had a really good kind of run and gun team there when they were playing against Oklahoma, who was also in the Big 12. So I'm one of those guys. I just enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed that the fan bases were a little different depending on which conference you were watching, and the weather was a little bit different depending on which conference you were watching. And that's what I'm just I'm one of those kind of college football nerds, and I really
CJ,
wish
are
it
you
was
old
like
enough
that.
to remember the Southwest Conference when the Pac-12 was the Pac-8?
He's not that old, John. He's a young man. Come on, ask his
I'm
dad.
not old
No,
enough
you
to
know
have
he's
watched
not.
it, but I do know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a bit
Arizona
of
and
a
Arizona
historian
State were
on
not
that.
in the Pac-12. Of course, the Southwest Conference was made up of all Texas schools except for Arkansas.
That's
What
right.
else am I
John's
missing,
waxing poetic about
Yeah.
Oklahoma and Marcus Dupree. I mean, so he's going back that far,
Oh, man, Marcus Dupree, you kidding me? Unbelievable. Guy was
All right,
fantastic.
CJ, if they go to a super conference, and so obviously you get SEC, Big Ten, and you start bringing in others, I would have argued Vanderbilt would not have made the cut until recently, just because the spending, they weren't spending what everybody else was spending. Now I think they are. But there are schools that maybe in some of these conferences that don't make the cut, like a Wake Forest, like some out in the Big 12 that are, that just don't spend. That just don't spend. So and that's where it gets difficult.
Yeah.
Then you get some really nasty decisions, about it. And then do you add some others? Like Oregon State is out. I mean, they're out now. They brought back the Pac-10, but Pac-12, but it's not the same thing. I don't know.
Right.
It's just it seems to me like it's a mess, and we're trying to tear this thing down when we should be trying to build it up.
Well, let me ask you two guys. You're Vanderbilt guys. If they go to a Super League, does Vanderbilt get left out? Does Mississippi State get left out?
I would say no, now that they've spent the spending they've done on their stadium and everything else. But, 10 years ago, I always joked that we were going to have a swap. We were going to swap Vanderbilt for Florida State and the ACC and bring them over,
I want
have
Vanderbilt. I don't want
league.
any of Florida State. Don't want
but Vandy is more of an ACC team in the sense back then. I mean, their sports they had, academics and all that kind of stuff. Now they're playing with the big boys. So, but there are some schools that may say, we don't want to spend that. We want to continue to maintain our academic excellence, like a Wake Forest. I mean, Wake Forest sports are okay, but they're not stellar really in anything.
And that's a smaller than Vanderbilt, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's smaller than Vanderbilt, and I agree. I think right now where we stand, I think we are at the top of the list when it comes to spending on athletics. I think that the way that we have figured this thing out, we're spending some real money, so it shows our commitment to football and to the conference. But also, I used to joke that the only reason they kept us around was to keep the conference GPA up.
The GPA's up.
And so they can't kick us out, or the SEC is going to start getting some funny looks about eligibility. So, I think we'll be just fine. And historically, what Tim Corbin's been able to do with the baseball team, to knock somebody like that out of your conference when he is one of you can't tell the story of the SEC without Tim Corbin. That would be pretty upsetting. And I'm sure there will be some phone calls and some letters written.
And it doesn't hurt
CJ,
that Vanderbilt is located in the hottest city in America.
Yeah, if you want the SEC championship game to have multiple locations, you kind of have to park your brakes on that one.
Yes, I agree.
CJ, when's the last time somebody got kicked out of school for grades?
At Vanderbilt?
No, anywhere. I mean, seriously. Remember how that was an issue?
Mm-hmm.
And is it because, I mean, they've paid more attention to it with remote learning and things like that? You can get I mean, the curriculum set up where you're not having to take classes necessarily in the fall. You can take a light load. But seriously, you don't. And people who go from school to school to school, they're not tracked. So,
right. Well, I think that's an ethics question, actually. I mean, these guys, they have the great fortune of being able to do these things online, and I think nowadays these universities do have some sort of way to track AI, but when you're on your own, I mean, someone else could easily be doing it for you. But I mean, it was an issue at Vanderbilt, having guys stay eligible, especially when I was coming through. Whether somebody, didn't do the right thing and plagiarize, or simply just didn't go to class enough. And
Oh, we got CJ froze.
CJ froze.
Yeah, hit that refresh button because I had to get his prediction for tonight's NBA game. We talked. There he is.
All right, he's back. He's back.
CJ, before we let you go, we mentioned it to you last week. You were spot on. Your thoughts about the NBA Finals Game 4 tonight? The first three are in the history books. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? This is a series that I've really enjoyed. It feels like an old school series. Both teams are being extremely physical. The referees are allowing them to play a little bit, which is great. It really comes down for me. It comes down to Karl Anthony Towns. How well does he play? Is he aggressive on offense? Is he still dominating the boards? If he plays well, I think the Knicks have a chance to win it. But if he is kind of passive and they're kind of playing backyard basketball, blacktop basketball with Jalen Brunson, I think the Spurs have a really good chance to tie this thing up going back to San Antonio. And if it's tied up going back to San Antonio, I like the Spurs to win this series.
Yeah.
How about your Commodore Cornette?
I mean, listen, he's the only reason they're there. Don't let anybody tell you differently. That OKC series with that block, that changed the game.
Now, seriously, though, can you imagine when he was sitting on the bench at the end of the bench with the Celtics, did you ever imagine that he would be a contributing member of a team in the playoffs? Seriously.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's very difficult to see that. In hindsight is everything, but he is one of those people that is just stuck with it. He just kept showing up, whether he needed to get better, whether he needed to clean up a few things. He's just always shown up, and been a good teammate and played with a lot of effort. One thing you can't question is effort, his energy, and his attitude, and that's what young kids should look up to. Honestly, there may be plenty of guys out there better than you, but if you're 7 feet and bring some energy, you got a chance.
CJ, I'm with you. I do like the physical play. It's one thing I've enjoyed about the NBA. They do let them play a little bit. I'm not saying we're at the level of the old Detroit Pistons back in the day. That man, those games were fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think Wemby's trying to bring it back. I think everybody's trying to follow suit with him. He's kind of setting the tone, and now the other team's like, well, he's pushing us around, so we got to push them around. And so I'm glad we've got an old school guy that's in our league. Our league is in good hands as far as that's concerned, because he's the one who kind of kick-started the All-Star game. Everybody said, well, we started playing hard because Wemby was embarrassing us. So good on him for trying to change the culture a little bit in the NBA, because it was getting weak for a little bit.
Yep, I'm with you. Hey, CJ, man, as always, we greatly appreciate your time. It's always fun and informative. And, man, we'll do it again next week.
Absolutely. Excited to do it next week, guys. I appreciate your time, and y'all have a good week.
You too. Thank you, CJ. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, joining us each and every week. Always a lot of fun with CJ. And, hey, 2 Commodores on the screen at the same time? You kidding me? Man, where else you going to get that?
There you go.
Yeah. Man, unbelievable. So, Gurn, I wanted to you had mentioned, I think last time you were on with us, you mentioned the huge event down in Greenville, the Big C tournament that takes place down, and certainly it provides scholarships for students in the Butler County area to go attend school at the University of Alabama. How did it go last week?
Man, another stellar event. And I'm going to give props to Brian and his crew. Guys, if you haven't been to Camden Ridge lately, it's like going to Augusta National condition-wise.
Wow.
I mean, now, everybody's fortunate to have had rain in the last month. I mean, you remember the drought conditions, that's challenging. They've had some really good rain, but the conditions, I swear, my wife and I were both, we played together with another couple. I'm not gonna tell you who won the net division, but maybe we've got a few gift cards at RTJ.
Were those handicaps verified or was it on the honor system?
We had verified handicaps.
Okay, all right.
We were making bombs from everywhere, but it was a great event. Had about 100 golfers, a lot of names you'd remember if you're 55 or above and you watched Alabama football as a kid. You would recognize a lot of the names. What's really funny, Clyde May is one of our sponsors, the whiskey, and Cody Wesley are probably he and a couple other guys, Mac Russell and Van Huggins. They're the heart and soul of that tournament. But Cody had 3 different players in the past didn't get NIL, so he did whiskey bottles with their picture on them for Clyde May, and one was an older player, then Major Ogilvy, and then Jake Coker, and they all got NIL whiskey bottles as part of the deal. So
that's pretty good.
It was, and we had the Crimson Dynasty wine people were sponsored. They came down.
Yeah, we've had them on the program. Sure.
Big 2 different tables of crawfish tables and barbecue and good time, and it was lots of beverage. There's an interesting thing about Greenville. I've been here 26 years. For big parties, it's called a P-row. You know what a P-row is?
I do not.
All right. Otherwise, I didn't really either. It's a boat. It's a wooden boat. And so they bring out the wooden boat and ice down beer in the wooden boat.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the cooler.
Yeah.
So it's a P-row event. You know you got a good party if you get a Greenville P-row event. And
no doubt. And I know there's a lot of people that big crowd, a big group of people that played, and a lot of money was donated for a fantastic cause. And of course, I'm sure Big C was holding court, riding around. Did he get his picture taken with every group?
They got Big C was in a cart. He was there on number 1 on Lob Lolly. Everybody came by and visited. Of course, I mean, the guy. I told him. I said, Big C, if your memory ever fades, I hope it just goes. I hope it completely goes, because you are the most amazing. He has the most amazing memory of everybody, anybody. He might have met you 5 years ago.
Yes.
He's going to remember you.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's going to call you by name. And he's going to remember, the game in 1964 where such and such happened or whatever. I mean, he's truly just the best. So
he is. I totally agree. I'm so glad I've been able to be a friend and have known Big C for a long, long time. And
I'll say this, John, and you know this, he's irreverent. So, I mean, he'll drop a bomb. The best thing about Big C not being on the radio anymore and being on the internet is that you can pretty much say what you want to. And that really has saved Big C from a lot of FCC things.
Yeah.
He will drop an F-bomb. He'll drop an S-bomb. He'll let you know it.
He will. Back in the radio days, Big C got put on probation a couple of times. But I got to admit, Gurn, I almost feel guilty. I knew what buttons to push. I knew I could get Big C going if I brought up a couple of specific topics.
Oh, yeah.
It would just get him going.
Barry tells me the same thing. But the greatest picture, and I wish somebody could pull out that picture and send it to us, of the Iron Bowl. I think it was at Legion Field, and Big C's walking around the stadium in a white T-shirt that says, "I am not Terry Bowden."
That was at Jordan Hare.
Oh, that was at Jordan-Hare.
That was
Okay.
in Auburn. I saw Big C before the game in the T-shirt, and on the back of it, it says, "No, I am not Terry Bowden."
I mean, that truly is one of the classic of all time. I mean, you can troll people, but that's one of the greatest trolls ever.
Oh, boy, that is so good. Well, I'm glad it went well. I know a lot of people had a great time down there. I've got to get back down and be a part of that. I've done it before, but I got to get back there and do it again. It's a great time, great calls, great folks down there in Butler County. Sending a lot, as you mentioned, a lot of young men and ladies have benefited from those scholarships.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing. I had a great conversation with Brian, who was on Friday, and he reminded me, and I kind of knew this, RTJ Prattville has a teaching facility now, and the guy who's the teacher is the father of Josiah, who plays for Auburn, won the national championship.
Yeah.
He's from Australia.
Yep.
And he has gotten a super duper youth program going out there, and also private instruction. So
well, let me
you
tell
don't
you,
see that in a lot of public courses, but they are blowing and going with their private instruction up at RTJ Prattville.
You know, Gurn, I'm glad you brought that up. I saw it with my own two eyes on Sunday. I had to go up there Sunday for something, and I had my golf bag in my vehicle. I said, I'm going to go hit some practice balls. It's been a while. Hadn't hit any range balls in a while. And I went up there, hit some balls, still striping them as always, still got it. But I noticed on one of the other practice tees, this large group of kids, and their flags everywhere and stations everywhere and all this type of stuff. And there were some on the putting green, the chipping area. There were some obviously on the driving range. There must have been 50 kids out there on Sunday afternoon. I'm trying to think, what is this all about? What's going on? And they were telling me that what you just described going on up there. And I was so pleased to see so many juniors playing golf. I think that's kind of waned a little bit. And, man, junior golf, from what I'm told, is extremely popular.
Well, his son can golf his ball. He has other kids that are supposed to be really good players as well. They moved from Australia over here, kind of following the oldest son because he was a top amateur. Came to Auburn, and we're fortunate to have them in our area.
My nephew.
So it's funny. You look at on the Auburn golf roster, you'll see there's somebody from Millbrook.
Yeah.
And it's Josiah. He's actually from Australia, but
sure.
They live in Millbrook now. So
my nephew's son is 10, 11, I believe, somewhere in that age bracket. He's playing in the Future Masters this summer down in Dothan.
Well, I had 3 appearances as a local boy in the Wiregrass, and
how'd it go?
I had 2 88s and an 89. I probably was 14 strokes from the cut line. It was not, I was not a great junior golfer, but
now were there guys playing when you were there, Gurn, that went on to have successful PGA careers? Because I know there's been a lot of people that did.
Well, they paired everybody up alphabetically in the first round. And so for 2 years, I played with Billy Mayfair, who played on the PGA Tour, is on the Seniors Tour now.
Yeah.
And he was like 5'3", kind of a dumpy little kid from Arizona. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And my gosh, he shot like 71. He went out there and hit every green and was looking back at me. Why am I looking for my ball? And, I did have one of the greatest moments I have ever had in a golf tournament. I think it's number 9 at Dothan Country Club, runs the road that runs to the clubhouse. 9 runs parallel to it. I hit a big old fade into the road and hit a Cadillac, a moving Cadillac that actually knocked the ball back in bounds.
Oh, how about that?
I salvaged a bogey from the hitting a Cadillac. I did not hit a window. It hit the metal part of the Cadillac.
That's probably harder than making a hole in one. Hit it out of bounds.
That's kind of special golf things I have, or crazy events.
Back into play. You're not taking the 2-shot penalty. But yeah, that's awesome. And I heard of people, Andy Bean and I think Brandel Chambly played in the Future Masters.
At Sink. So back in the day, Stuart Sink and Brian Gay had like one of the classic duels, and Stuart Sink won, and the only thing he hit was a 2-iron.
Oh, wow.
The whole time. He had 2 on every hole, and he shot 60 whatever to win it. So,
man, do they still make 2-irons? Man,
I have a ping 2-iron in my bag, John.
Really?
And only reason I have a 2-iron in my bag is because I have the 1-iron back at the house.
Well, I had a ping 1-iron. I had a set of ping I3s, black dot, and I had a 1-iron.
Black dot.
I used to love that.
I still have them, and if you hit that 1-iron sweet, it's beautiful.
Oh, sure.
But if you hit it off the sweet spot, your hands are you're shaking.
Tough.
It's like you're hitting an anvil or something.
It is definitely tough. All right, top of the hour. We're going to take a top of the hour timeout, regroup, come back. Got a lot more coming at you. Brian Matthews at the bottom of hour number 2. He'll join us. As I mentioned, Theotis, no Josh Harris today. Maybe later this week. We'll see. But Brian Matthews will join us at the bottom of hour number 2. Talk about what happened over at Jordan-Hare Stadium last night. Big recruiting haul for the Tigers as well. Got a lot going. Get in on that River Region Straw chat line. It's up and running right now. Tobias from Arizona is on. He's asking questions. We love his involvement into the program as well as everyone else's. Also, email us longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. Back with more right after this. Well, Lyle has done it again at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry on Vaughn Road in Peppertree. Mention Longshore and McKnight and buy any of their 3-carat lab-grown diamonds for just $999. You heard me right. Any of Marguerite's 3-carat lab-grown diamonds for just $999. Mention Longshore and McKnight to get this incredible deal all month long in June. It is Lyle's June special at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, open 7 days a week in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli on Vaughn Road. Go by and mention Longshore McKnight to take advantage of their 3-carat lab-grown diamonds for just $999 at Marguerite's, where they make it, they really make it.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st, and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie, and it's...
Hey, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us here. Hour number 2 rolling on this Wednesday. Hey, head out to Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. You've been hearing us talk about it. It's true. We've had people that have told us because they've taken advantage of it. And certainly Lyle's not going to tell us something that's not. 3-carat lab-grown diamonds. 3-carat. $999. That's right. Mention Longshore McKnight. Go in there. 3-carat lab-grown diamond, $999. Now, I know they come in all different shapes. Oval, square, round, cushion. I don't know all the shapes, but they've got them. $999. 3-carat lab-grown diamond. And I don't know if you've ever seen a lab-grown diamond, Gurn, but I promise you, you cannot tell the difference. No way. The naked eye cannot tell the difference. Matter of fact, I think they look better. They are really beautiful. You can get one. $9.99, 3-carat lab-grown diamond. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, open 7 days a week in Pepper Tree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli, 8163 Vaughn Road. All right. The longest day in golf. I've been hearing a lot about that this week. Trying to qualify for the U.S. Open. Some young man this kid looked like he was 16 that qualified earlier this week. It's a grind. It's a grueling way to get into the U.S. Open. But hey, I know a lot of people out there thinking I'll do whatever it takes to try to get one of the slots to play in the Open. Would that be something you'd be interested in doing if you were good enough?
All right, I got two. I always have stories, John.
Sure.
And I've got two. My brother, like I said, was a college golfer, and after he was in law school then. He tried to qualify for the U.S. Amateur at Shoal, and the qualifying was at Shoal Creek, and Shoal Creek was he'd only been there a couple of years, so yeah. He needed a caddy, so it's 36 holes, and I said sure, and so I got the first 18 in, and I look at him and I'm like, dude, I can't do that again. I said, so we had to go to the caddy shack and get somebody else for the second 18.
Yeah.
The other thing that I guess I've never admitted this, I don't like to admit to trying to commit fraud. I guess since I didn't succeed, back in like 1985, I was going to a summer program in Oxford, England, and I figured out where the British Amateur qualifying was.
Okay.
And so I was just going to get around to golfing because I was taking my clubs. I went and played the old course. I was going to take my clubs and then just go over there and just have a round and try and qualify. Well, you had to have like a 2, handicap. Yeah. And I was like a 10, 8 or 9. Yeah. I wasn't anything. So we were going to have my brother. I was going to be my brother. Like he was going to sign up for it. And use his GIN for his USGA because he was like a 1.4. Yeah. And I was going to go and be Will Matthews and go shoot a little 89 or something at Royal St. whatever for the qualifying. Fortunately, it didn't go through. They sniffed it out, and I didn't get try and qualify for the British Amateur. So
hey, at least you tried.
I mean, what if I had gone over there and not broken 100 or something? I mean, that could have been, really, really bad. But yeah, no, I will watch this. Sometimes they'll show it from different courses. They'll have some coverage.
Yeah.
I will watch Golf Channel for this, the NCAAs, any of those kind of tournaments like that. U.S. Amateur, U.S. Women's Amateur. That's good stuff.
Which would you rather win, the Masters or the U.S. Open?
It'd have to be the U.S. Open. It's a greater test of golf. It's a greater test of golf.
I agree.
And you're competing against a field, not a limited entry field. You've got massive stuff. You're the national champion.
I'm with you. I agree. I think the field is a lot stronger. I think the field at the Masters is diluted, letting all those past champions get an automatic entry. I know they kind of reel that in a little bit, but still, I think there's some guys taking up spots that other people ought to be using because they're just better. I think the field would be better. Obviously, you're playing the same course every year, and maybe the familiarity that these guys have with it might, make the course a little easier. Heck, I'd love to have a green jacket. I'd love to go to the Champions Dinner. I get all the pomp and circumstance, but I'm with you. The Open rotates. It's at different venues every year. The field is a lot tougher, and you don't see U.S. Open champions shooting 9, 10, 11 under. They're shooting 1 under. And I just think it's a sterner test.
1986, John, I was at Shinnecock. That's my U.S. Open that I attended.
Oh, man.
So here we're back. We're back 40 years.
Was that Corey
later.
Pavin?
Yeah, it was. We went on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was working at Senator Heflin's office. Four guys, including myself, we jump in the car with some tents without a hotel room, thinking we were going to camp out up there on Long Island.
Ooh.
We get there. We go to this. There's like a junior college in the town. We pitch our tent like in some grass. They watch us.
Yeah.
And then once it's pitched, they come and tell us we got to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like 1:00 in the morning. So we just start driving. And we go out in the country and we go down this road and we find an open area and we pitch our tent. We wake up the next morning, we're in the city dump. Seriously, there is you can see the big tractors that are moving the dump. We have stayed in the dump.
Oh.
And so we go over to Shinnecock. Great day. I mean, it's a fabulous place. I mean,
did you bathe in a creek or something? I mean,
what's that?
Did you bathe in a creek?
No, we didn't bathe at all. We went to a portalet or one of those fancy bathrooms at site and kind of washed your hands and did your hair and no, we're nasty. It's terrible. And then it's hot. And so you sweat. I mean, no, it was the rankest car on the way. And we drove back to D.C. after that. But yeah,
how far of a drive we talking about here?
It was just a great event. You'll appreciate this. My sister's Trudell pledge sister, best friend, her husband worked for ESPN at the time. Oh, and he got us in. He got us passes and into the ABC tent. So we did have that going for us, but yeah, no, it's a special place. I mean,
yeah,
it is
I'm
really
a big
cool.
I'm a big open guy.
Yeah. Now, hold on though.
Okay.
If I'm on the list to get in Augusta, I just want to let them know I'm a 46 extra long for my.
Sure, I get it. I understand.
I just want just in case.
Sure.
Just in case.
I totally understand that. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, you better believe it. This caught my attention yesterday. I'm going to bring it up to you and certainly save it for Barry as well. But I saw an article about the Auburn athletic director, John Cohen, calling out the GCAA. Are you familiar with the GCAA, the Golf Coaches Association of America? That ring a bell?
Did they not give the Auburn coach of the year or something?
Nick Clenard was the favorite to win.
Yeah.
The Golf Coaches Association of America National Coach of the Year. However, the award went to Virginia's Dave Williams. John Cohen was not happy about it, nor were Auburn fans. They were not pleased. They voiced their opinions on social media about the situation. A statement with Coach Clenard's record and championships and things of that nature. I mean, it's kind of Heisman-esque if you ask me. And there again was an official release from John Cohen about it, his unhappiness. And Gurn, it kind of reminded me years ago of a Heisman Trophy winner at Auburn that did not get awarded the SEC Male Athlete of the Year. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, is there something behind this? The people that are voting, do they know something we don't know? Or is there just, some bad blood between this Auburn coach and other coaches around the country? Because obviously his numbers, the record, indicate that he should be the coach of the year.
Well, if John Cohen doesn't already know this and isn't confident in this, he has the best golf coach in the country. Okay? The guy's been there, 18 years.
Yeah.
He's had super success. He's won his second national championship in 3 years. In golf is difficult. Now, they do have resources. They have excellent NIL for their golfers, okay? Not every program does. Depends on the program. And they do have excellent NIL. Okay. So they get really good players, but you have to recruit those players to come to your school. They've got to trust you. And I'll tell you what that guy does probably better than anybody. And I heard him interviewed, and he was very clear about it. He does not get in the players' way. So all of those players, he probably has, 6 that could be considered for the 5 spots. They all have their own swing coaches. They've had their own swing coaches since they were 10 years old. Okay? Their parents are heavily involved.
Yeah.
It's a team. They all have their teams more than any other sport. And so he does not get in the way. Okay? And somehow he must be really good at managing all that. Because if you look at his top 5 and then you add number 6, they are studs. I mean, these are all really, really good players. And he put that together. And I've gotten to know a little bit the women's coach over there, and she's excellent. Surprise, surprise, I know her through pickleball, but I had to bring pickleball up into every episode. But they do it right. And I'll say, in Auburn's, it's not like they've got Augusta National in Auburn to play. I mean, there's some good courses, but it's the people. It's the coaching staff. It's the facilities. Plus, you're not going to get in a lot of trouble at Auburn if you go as a golf. I hate to say that. You know what I'm saying? You got to go somewhere to find trouble.
Yeah.
And it's a good, solid place. And look, if they're Jackson Coyman,
did you not hear about the football player that was? Speaking of Cam Newton, did you not hear about the football player last weekend that tried to run from the police on a moped over in Auburn? What do you mean? It's not Mayberry over there.
It's hard. It's hard. As long as you stay away from the Sky Bar, it's hard. Okay. But yeah, no, that's a program that is doing really well. And look, Saban didn't win Coach of the Year when he won national championships. I mean, I would just say,
well, neither did Coach Brian every year, but I mean, those guys were pretty consistent.
I'll say this, Cohen, come on, act like you've been there before. Don't be petty because your guy didn't get an award, a certificate.
Yeah. Well, of course, the first thing I thought of was, Cam didn't win SEC Male Athlete of the Year back in 2012. Some tennis player from Tennessee did. What was that all about? Was that athletic directors going, we'll show them?
Well,
people say
I'll
I'm
say
crazy.
This is Jackson Coyman's the best player in the SEC in a while.
Yeah.
And so if he doesn't make it on the tour, it'll be a huge surprise because he's got all the tools to be, the next thing.
What's going on with Jay Sewell and the Crimson Tide? They won a natty several years ago. I mean, they got a $48 million facility up there. I mean, is the pressure not on him, particularly since Auburn's won 2 in the last 3 years?
Hey, it's not easy it's just not easy. I don't know if you watched the Golf Channel for the national championship of the individual. We had a kid who was almost won it. He was on the front side, finishing up on the front side, and the leaders were on the back side. It was great drama. He lost by a stroke, so he finished runner-up this year. Look, it's hard. I mean, it's not easy, and you got to have the money. And I'm sure Alabama has the money, but there you go.
Well, I hate to be the one to bring it up about, hey, what's going on up there? This team's kind of lapped you over the last couple of years. I mean, you had JT up there and playing in the Natty, getting beat by Texas, come back the next year and win it. And I don't see them.
That's been 10 plus years ago.
Well, it's still fresh on my mind. I will say that. You know what else is fresh on my mind is the Phantom's Daily Dog. And yesterday we delved into Major League Baseball. We'll get into that. We got NBA Game 4 finals tonight. Maybe we'll delve into that. Robbie from down your way in Greenville says we need to talk more about Alabama, Troy, and the College World Series in these matchups and not all of this clutter. Robbie, what do you exactly want to know? Troy is playing West Virginia. I hate to tell you, Robbie, they're getting swept. Troy will be home Monday. Done.
Easy now. Easy now. Barry's going to come through the mic, come through the YouTube and grab you by the throat.
So, I mean, Robbie, what else do you need to know? They're turning back into a pumpkin in Omaha. Reality hits, they're back home by Monday. You know, West Virginia, losers bracket, then they're out. Oh, Robbie. Alabama, on the other hand, they did beat Oklahoma. They took 2 of 3 in the regular season matchup. But, Robbie, you need to change my mind. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I just pretty much told you what I think. I hope Barry didn't take a lot of clothes out there. He's not going to need them. He'll be back pretty soon, Robbie. It's the only way I can put it. Back with more. Quick timeout right after this. Well, Lyle has done it again at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry on Vaughn Road in Peppertree. Mention Longshore and McKnight and buy any of their 3-carat lab-grown diamonds for just $999. You heard me right. Any of Marguerite's 3-carat lab-grown diamonds for just $999. Mention Longshore and McKnight to get this incredible deal all month long in June. It is Lyle's June special at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, open 7 days a week in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli on Vaughn Road. Go by and mention Longshore and McKnight to take advantage of their 3-carat lab-grown diamonds for just $999 at Marguerite's, where they make it, they really make it. Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Got to get to it here today at 22 minutes past the hour on the program. Okay, Robbie, I got to come clean. I felt bad about that during the break. Certainly don't want to wish any ill will over the Troy Trojans, and I don't really think that's going to happen. I've been very impressed with this Troy baseball team, and I'll tell you why. Several reasons. Obviously, they're very good. Pitching, hitting, two very important aspects of the game. Very confident, obviously very confident. They found something toward midseason, maybe a little after midseason, and they've certainly capitalized on that. And they're winning very well. They're winning, and they're very impressive in doing so. I don't know if you watched Troy and Troy's series that they had, the Super Regional there in Troy with Little Rock. But to me, Gurn, it was the eye test. I didn't have to watch long, and I could just tell by the mannerisms and just how Troy was carrying themselves. They just looked better. They looked more confident. They looked more in control. They looked like they were on a mission. Little Rock looked a little wide-eyed. It kind of reminded me of watching Notre Dame walk out of the tunnel in the Orange Bowl for the national championship against Alabama. The teams looked totally different. And I thought the same thing with Troy in Little Rock. Now, obviously, the opposition is going to get ramped up when you're playing. You're one of the final 8 teams. But I got to tell you, I think the confidence level that Troy has is a huge, huge positive for them.
So, John, you ever heard Skylar Meade talk?
Yes.
He's a dude.
Yes.
And so he exudes confidence like, I don't know. It's hard to explain it. He's not cocky, but he's confident, and his players feed off that. I heard him interviewed last night on Sirius, and he basically described his team this way: they're a bunch of dudes, and that's really going into what you said, what you saw when they were on the field. Look, everybody knows there are tons of really good baseball players out there. And this team was not very good up until about a month ago. But they had good players, and a lot of them are from the portal, just like every team.
Yep.
But they have this confidence, and he's talking about his pitcher. And his pitcher being so laid back and laughing and all this kind of stuff, he's like, I don't know what to say about it, but he's a dude. And that's what you need. I will
say this, not to take anything away from them, but I don't get the same feeling with Alabama's team that I did with Troy.
Well, Alabama's got, all right, if you only look at one thing. We had the pitcher who pitched on the first game of the Super Regional. That got through just the greatest, unbelievable game. He's got wicked stuff. But at shortstop's a guy named Justin LeBron.
Okay.
Justin LeBron is supposed to be a top 10 pick in the draft this year. He is a physical freak. He makes plays that are just unbelievable. And I think I kind of have a memory that he could have left for a lot more money and he stayed because he really is Coach Vaughn is somebody he's very close to. So anyway, he's our shortstop is the real deal.
I think there's several that are. And the shortstop, you're right. I mean, I think he's been very, very effective in this postseason. Alabama is playing a team they're familiar with in Oklahoma, one that they took 2 of 3 from earlier in this year. Barry made a comment yesterday. I don't know exactly. It wasn't, like Oklahoma's not any good. He just thought Alabama was better. That Oklahoma's maybe not the best team in the World Series, but hey, you catch fire, you catch lightning late in the season, you get here, you never know what can happen.
I think everybody's surprised that Oklahoma's there. That's kind of what Barry was alluding to.
Yeah, I think so too. So, Robbie, I hope that is good enough for you. Sorry, all of the, as you call it, clutter that we were talking about. Robbie down in Green. We were talking a lot of Greenville today. Robbie, Big C, Brian Reynolds, the Gurn family. Man, Greenville's getting.
I'll say, hey, John, I think clutter can also be defined as bullshit. So you're saying that our bullshit,
I think that's exactly what Robert's saying.
And we can say that on YouTube. I think that's a word you can say on YouTube.
You can say it on YouTube. You're right about that. All right, Chris the Bammer wants to know what happened with the Phantom. So let's just get right to it. We went baseball yesterday. A game that took place out in San Diego. Late game, late first pitch. A lot of you out there probably didn't stay up for it. I know I didn't. And things just kind of went through the normal baseball cycles. The visiting team, the Cincinnati Reds, jumped up 1-0, and then they were up 2-0 in the top of the third. But San Diego, the home team, put 2 on the board in the bottom of the third, so we're tied up. Everything's looking great. Tied up through the end of regulation. Got to go extra frames. Cincinnati scores in the top of the 10th, but hey, San Diego scores at the bottom of the 10th. We're still good. Going to an extra frame. The top of the 11th is where it all fell apart. As the Cincinnati Reds scored 2 runs in the top of the 11th, San Diego could not answer. We lose last night 5-3. It was a toughie. Those things happen. You know, you're thinking if you go extra innings and you're getting the last bat at the bottom of the inning, that you're going to have a pretty good chance to win it. I've always thought that. I'm no baseball guy, but maybe you can. So let's look to tonight. Hold on real quick. Yes, Jeff, you can say that in the chat. Yeah, you can say that in the chat. It's just other things you got to be careful about in the chat. But, you know, it's up to you. You know, the rule used to be about language. If you used it as a medical term, it was okay. You had to use it as a medical term. And we had to kind of reel that in a little bit because I think Mrs. United used a term that we're not real sure was a medical term, but she thought it was. But anyway, just use your best judgment. All right. We're going back to the NBA. Yes, Chris, you're right. The NBA, that's what we're going back to. Tonight is game 4 of the NBA Finals. Game 4 tonight in New York. Tickets as low as $3,419. I think you're in the nosebleed section with those. The Knicks are a favorite tonight at -2, coming off a loss, and the total is 216.5. Now, I know what you're thinking. These games seem to always go over the total. Well, that's not 100% accurate because we had a total that went under in game 1. We are going back to the total tonight in what we believe will be a hard-fought defensive battle. Gurn, I don't know if you've noticed, I've just seen a lot more missed shots in postseason, particularly in the 3 games that have been played in the finals, than I've seen throughout the entire regular season. I'm thinking, I never saw this many missed shots in the NBA in the regular season, probably because they're not playing defense in the regular season. Now they're playing more defense. C.J. Duncan talked about it earlier, more physical. So I'm expecting a physical, defensive-dominated game, probably the same number of missed shots as we've seen previously. I'm going under 216.5 tonight in game 4, Spurs at the Knicks. What do you think?
So that's like it's like that Barkley commercial where he's packing the kids' shots, that with Wemby out there. That's the reason that the shots aren't going in. All right, I got a question. I don't know if you saw this the other night.
Okay.
I heard Spike Lee interviewed the other night. For the second time, he wore the jersey he was wearing. Do you know what's special about that jersey?
Well,
it's autographed by someone. You got to guess who it's autographed by?
A Knicks jersey autographed by Clyde the
the Pope.
I don't know.
The Pope.
The Pope?
The Pope autographed his jersey. So the question is, does he wear it again or is it bad luck? Is the Pope jersey bad luck?
He wore it for it and they lost. I think you got to wear something different. Got to wear something different.
It's like Auburn, Alabama fans, they wear the same underwear the whole season, so as long as you're on a winning.
Yeah.
We got Brian.
We're going to take a quick timeout. Brian Matthews is going to hop on and join us here when we return. We want to know all about what's going on with recruiting. A big night at Jordan-Hare Stadium last night. We'll get in on that as well. Brian joins us right after this quick timeout.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What'd I miss?
I have no idea.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. All righty, welcome back in, everybody. About 25 minutes to the top of the hour. Our man Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, joining us here today. Brian, as you probably already know, Barry is probably halfway to Omaha right now as the Troy Trojans are heading to the College World Series playing West Virginia on Friday. So he's not with us today, but Gurn Sr. here hopping on, part of the Longshore McKnight team here this morning. And we were talking about it, Brian. Tell us about last night, the atmosphere. What'd you hear about the soccer inside Jordan-Hare Stadium?
Yeah, I was there in the stands. Just went with the family. It's a lot of fun. Really good atmosphere. I think everybody's excited to see Messi there. That place really got loud when he scored that goal, of course, and when he came on the pitch there. You got to say pitch, not field. Yeah. In that second half. So it was a lot of fun and big crowd there. The storms really came through about a couple hours beforehand, but they did clear out so everybody could get to the stadium on time. And it was a fantastic event, and I think it's the first of what's many to come. I think the college and the athletic department are moving to get Jordan-Hare Stadium as more as a multi-use facility, concerts, international soccer matches, whatever they can think of. I think the north end zone project, which will be completed in a few years, is going to kind of align with that, with some other uses, restaurants and such. So this is the way we're kind of moving to in the future.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. I think we're going to see a lot of that around the country on college campuses. Did you notice? I mean, obviously you would think there was a large contingent of Auburn fans, but did you notice a lot of international fans, or just maybe not football fans in general, more soccer people?
I would say more than half of the people I saw were wearing Argentina or Messi jerseys. I mean, it was just everywhere. It's incredible. I saw a few Iceland fans, but tons and tons of families that had some connection or were just fans of Argentina or Messi. But yes, very, very big turnout. And, the one thing I would say is, when you watch international soccer, like a real match, or not a friendly, or you're watching maybe a Premier League game, there's a lot more singing and a lot more of flag waving. We didn't really have that. I guess it's because the crowd wasn't 100% international crowd, but other than that, it was a great atmosphere, a lot of fun, and I think I've heard a lot of positive feedback so far.
Now, I did see they to accommodate the soccer dimensions, they had to take some of the shrubbery down on the field.
Yes, you have the shrubs that are right next to the stands. They're still intact, but the ones on the I guess east side that went behind the bench, they took those down. Took those down for two reasons: one, to enlarge the pitch; number two, the construction end zone for the north, for the construction entrance for the north end zone improvement project is going to come through the south end zone and has to come down that side of the stadium. So they're going to build like a pathway so big trucks don't tear up the ground there. So that's going to be part of the construction project, and it'll be there for a couple of years until they complete the north end zone.
When they were removing the shrubbery, did they happen to find that lady that got lost when she tried to storm the field during the kick six?
No, but they probably found some purses, and who knows what else they found in there. Maybe some old bottles of a Jim Beam or something, maybe from way back in the day. So
I don't know why that memory is still so vivid in my mind, because so much was happening in such a short period of time during that kick six. But I know we've talked about it. I was on the field when Chris Davis ran right by me, and I'm just thinking what's about to happen next. And I turn around, and these people are trying to storm the field, and I can still see this lady. She didn't win that fight. That bush, that shrubbery got the best of her. She could not get through that thing.
Yeah, and some of them jump in there, they just disappear. Like, where'd they go? So, and
it
I
was
had
unreal.
The other thing about that is, of course, I had to fight my way all the way to the other end zone for interviews. I think you just had to go the opposite way, right?
Yeah,
not
it was
quite
that
hard,
end zone.
but
Yeah.
that was something.
How about a big recruiting weekend? Man, I heard things really ramped up. Some great news. Let our viewers and listeners know what's happening there.
Yeah, Auburn continues to really be on a roll right now in recruiting. They're up to 16 commitments. They got Chance Gilbert, the really talented DB, 4-star. He could play safety, cornerback, nickel, just really, really athletic, about 6 foot, 175, 180, but plays much physical than his size might lend you to believe. Auburn also got the offensive lineman, Reed Ramsier from, I guess, Orlando, Florida. An interior guy, about 6'4", over 300 pounds. They continue to recruit offensive linemen and running backs at a really, really fast pace. You could just see the priority that they're getting back to being a run-first power running team for the future of Auburn football. And then there's going to be a big announcement here, I guess, in the next few hours. Rion Jackson, I think he's a 4-star, high 4-star, top 30 edge in the country. From Maryland is going to announce his commitment. He's down to Auburn and Virginia Tech, and is coming off an Auburn visit. And I think Auburn's in really, really good shape. So stay tuned for that. It'll be on the Rivals YouTube channel here, and I think it starts at 11:30, 12:30. I don't have the time right here in front of me. 11:30 Central. There we go.
Brian, I know we've talked about this as well, but it certainly looks to be coming to fruition. The emphasis on high school recruiting.
Yeah. I just it's really interesting time to follow recruiting. I think there's less interest, among team sites and nationally and fans, just because people are concerned these players don't necessarily stick around for a long time. But what you're seeing with Auburn, I think a lot of schools is they're going to target, 7, 8 to 12, depending on how much money they have, or maybe more than that. Top tier, I can step in and play right away prospects, and then load that class up with a number of, hey, this is a guy we think that could develop into a special player here in a few years, but we know he's going to stick around. If we give him enough money, he's not going to run after a year. And then supplement all that with the transfer portal coming up, in January or whatever. So I just think there's a different way to look at it now. It's not like it was 7 or 8 years ago when Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Ohio State are trying to sign as many 5-stars as possible. That just doesn't necessarily work anymore because those kids just don't stick around. You can't stack up guys on your depth chart that are top 100 players.
Earlier in the week, we brought up a subject, and your name came up. Somebody's asking us about it on the chat line again today. From time to time, we have talked about music. You've written about music. Yes. I know it's a very it's a subject you're very interested in. We talked about the Rush concert. They are back on tour after 11 years, I believe. Their opening night was at the LA Forum on Sunday night. Their new drummer, a female, Annika Niles. We have someone on the chat line asking, did Brian see any of the videos of Annika Niles, the new drummer for Rush? We talked about it, Brian. I've seen the videos. Man, she looked fabulous. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I have not, but as soon as we get off the air, I'm going to go watch it because I'm excited to see that. I saw Rush back in the 80s at the old Atlanta Omni, I believe it was, and it was an incredible show. Back then they were at the I guess the top of their game and live performances with the lasers and all the cool stuff they would do. And that was just a great experience. I'm going to go definitely check that out. Absolutely.
Well, I would recommend, any of it is really good. There's a lot of it out there on social media, but.
Is she Canadian as well?
She's German, I believe. Wow. She's German, but she can play. And particularly there's the videos of when they're performing Tom Sawyer. And she gets into that drum part in that song, the crowd goes berserk when she finishes up doing that. And Geddy Lee's looking at her and smiling. And I mean, it's pretty cool. But we've got a lot of Rush fans here on the chat line. But some guys are going to see him in Atlanta, I think, in a couple of weeks. So they knew you were a big music aficionado, so they wanted us to get your thoughts about it.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Rush back in the day, of course, and really, really proud that I got to see them live, and I'll definitely go check that out.
All right, so what else is going on for our viewers and listeners with auburnsports.com? I know you're on top of everything. Obviously, recruiting is still hot and heavy, and, of course, we're getting into the summer. So I'm sure we'll be talking more music with you as we do in the summer months, but also summer workouts, getting ready for that opener in Atlanta against Baylor.
Yeah, that's right. And this is still official visit period. They're going to have more visitors in this weekend, the next weekend. So we'll stay on top of that really, really closely. And then this is kind of the portal season for baseball. So, Auburn baseball had a little disappointing end to their season, but they've also had some really good seasons when you look back on it and take away that disappointment. And they've got a chance if they retain their core players, and I think they will, and they can bring in a couple of key pieces to be really, really good again. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. And, of course, I love the College World Series, so I'm looking forward to that starting, I guess, Friday night or Friday afternoon. And then for those who care, the actual World Cup starts, I believe, tomorrow. So there's plenty to go on if you're a sports fan, especially if you like soccer like I do.
You're not kidding.
Did you see John's eyes roll in the back of his head? I don't know. That was his head was kind of doing this, so I didn't really know.
I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try. I will. I mean, so I'm not going to just completely discount it.
Well,
Brian,
thank you. Up my love later in life, so that can happen to anybody else.
Yes, I'm with you there, no doubt. I can be changed. Hey, Brian, as always, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and man, we'll talk next week.
That sounds great.
Thank you, buddy. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. Usually on Tuesdays. He'll be back with us on Tuesday next week. Just had to do something a little different. He was getting ready for that big soccer match last night. We're about to get ready for Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. It'll be loaded up here in just a moment. So what do you say we take our last break of the show, I believe. We'll get everything going and ready to go, and we'll touch on some topics that, well, we don't know what they are. Neither do you, and we're going to break them all down when we return after this quick timeout. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st, and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie, and it's done.
Come back in, everybody.
Miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
You can be a winner too. Victoryland open 24/7, 365. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You'll just never miss any of our content. Every time something drops, you'll get a notification and where to go to check it out, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes. It'll be there for you. And we produce the show every morning live from 7 to 9, but then we put it out there on social media for you to consume on your schedule. That's the beauty of what we do. And a lot of people do it that way. They pull it through their Bluetooth in their vehicle and listen through their iPhone. So there's just so many possibilities, and we greatly appreciate it. We see the numbers increasing each and every month through all of our other platforms that people consume our product, and we greatly appreciate that. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, one other note, make sure to check us out on CBS 8 tonight. Lindsey Bonner and myself will be breaking down the College World Series that is fast approaching. We'll also talk to you on the Brendan Swordsby situation out at Texas Tech, among other things. CBS 8, check that out tonight at 6 and 10. Lindsey Bonner and myself. All right, we have got 6 topics. Gurn Sr. and I have not seen these. We do not know what these are about, so we're going to break them down and explain them as they...
I'm looking forward to dirty play.
Dirty play. All right, go ahead and spin it.
Weird drop.
On the weird drop is the first topic here today on the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Weird drop. Oh,
amazing. Amazing how the hoopla, the other night's game was almost predictable. Anytime you have that much hype, and that much star power, it almost goes against you. You had the fans were having to wait to get in because the president was there. Yeah. It was all these things.
Sure.
Just the things that kind of take away from the fan experience.
Stephen A. didn't like the fact that the president was at the game, said if they lose, it's his fault.
Well, everybody can blame everybody. I'll tell you, you got Stephon Castle going large. That's the reason it went the wrong way.
Yeah.
I sat there, and I'm a basketball guy, and I loved every minute of that game. It was up and down and back again.
Yeah.
Just when you think the Spurs were, down by 8 and weren't going to come back, they came back, then they went up. And then Jalen Brunson hits a 3. And then the other guy, people are hitting shots from the corner. You're just like, what is going on?
Awesome. Yeah, hey, look, folks, don't let Gurn's glasses fool you. He could fill it up in back of the house frat basketball. I was impressed. I thought I could take him to the hoop. This guy can play some D too.
There's a reason you become a shooter is because you're a wuss when you take it inside.
Yeah.
I was tired of having my neck craned from watching the shots get blocked when I was in high school. So I never ventured in. So
all right, let's
I shot threes when there wasn't a 3-point line. That's how bad I was.
Me too. I was the same kind of guy. If they'd only had the 3-point stripe in our day. All right, it's spinning. Let's see where it lands. I'm thinking green.
Oh, here we go. Dirty play.
Ooh, is it going to make green or yellow? Ooh, yep, there it is. Dirty play.
Oh yeah. It's just basketball. Come on. Get off me, Daddy. Damn.
I've done that in a church league game. You kidding me?
Yeah. I describe that as get off me, Daddy. Damn. And Wimby's saying, don't be touching me.
Yeah.
Get your hands off me.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And he did not get a flagrant for that. He did not get fined for that, which is interesting.
I'm surprised Brunson didn't come back getting his grill, but he's smart not to do that.
But you see Stephon Castle later, and I don't think it'll make the wheel, but he later, Brunson took a charge from him when he's going across the lane.
Yeah.
Woo! It was like a middle linebacker hitting the hole, against a running back.
Sure. Oh, boy, yeah. I saw that in real time. That was interesting. All right, 4 more to go. Let's see what we got. Blue, red, yellow, and green are left on the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Victoryland, open 24/7, 365, where you can be a winner too.
Is this World Cup?
What are World Cup tickets going for?
No. What? Is this for somebody because taking because gas prices are so high, he's taking his child's toy to work?
Interesting. You know, my daughter's had a little Barbie car that was battery powered. You know,
we had Barbie Jeeps.
Yeah,
and
Barbie
Jeeps, absolutely.
Yeah, now
That's
that
hilarious.
thing seemed to go a lot faster than mine did. This is a souped up model here. Does it run on gas? Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, it is gas. Because that thing's a little faster than the
$3 to fill up. How about that?
That's pretty.
I don't think it has great range though.
Well, I wouldn't venture too far away from home in that thing. I don't think it's like a Tesla. You're not going to get a lot of juice out of that charge.
I tell you, I got a buddy who's got a Tesla. He likes it so much he bought his wife one, and they rave about it. You know the biggest danger of a Tesla?
I do not.
Is that pedestrian safety. It does not make a noise, so you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
So sometimes they put a noise in there to so people will know it's coming. And but man, I've driven one before. They drive great.
You know, Gurn, I've noticed that with the UPS trucks because they run like on something different and they're not loud. You can't hear them. And I had one come up behind me one day and, well, whoa, where'd that thing come from? The thing about the Tesla, though, aren't they self-driving? Can't you get in it and tell it where to go and it'll take you home?
All right. So, John, I think you know this person. I'm not going to say his name, but I had lunch with him yesterday. He went to a wedding reception in Birmingham, then took his wife to dinner. I said, well, so he says, I get in my car. I say, home. He never touched the wheel after that.
Yeah.
And it took him to Montgomery.
Now, what if you were, say, overserved? Would it take you home?
Well, that he wasn't.
Not saying he was. I'm just curious.
No, you can't drive. You can't drive impaired. But, the truth of the matter is, and I said, hey, how long did it take you to get comfortable with that arrangement with your self-driving car? He said about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He said he never touches the wheel. Around town, anywhere. It's crazy. Hey, welcome to the future.
I've heard the self-driving feature. I haven't been in one. I've been in a Tesla. I've had an Uber driver pick me up in a Tesla. And I remember asking him, I said, where's the speedometer on this thing? And he pointed it out on the big screen or whatnot. But I will say this, they've got some get up. Those things can move.
Well, I'll say this. I have a family member who will go unnamed, but may be listening right now, that sent me a video from a Waymo. Now, that's a little disturbing, where you don't even have a driver.
Yeah.
But that's the future, too. It's already here.
What is the base model of a Tesla go for?
I think you can get 130 to 40 maybe for the little one.
Okay, right. I'm just curious.
Maybe a little more than that. But then, the big boy is like a $1.5.
Oh, wow.
And that's a lot. Now, I don't know about the god-awful cruiser SUV thing.
Like that silver looking, truck looking thing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, 3 more to go. Let's see what we got. Spin the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, blue, yellow, red. That's what's left. And it's going to land
on the Trident. This has to be the maybe the Las Vegas Knights. I don't know. What is it? No.
Well, a little baseball.
Oh, no, the Padres. No.
Huh. Got to show this one, huh? No, this Baltimore.
Oh, no, Seattle. Seattle Mariners. Yeah.
Baltimore.
Boom.
Ooh, wow.
There you go. The Mariners have the Trident.
That was a pretty good one. Yeah. I've actually seen the Mariners play live in person before at the old King Dome.
The old King Dome.
What a dump of a
facility. Does it even exist? Surely they tore that down.
It. Took it down.
There's the Trident. There's the Poseidon Trident from the Mariners. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great they strum it like a guitar.
That's right. All right, let's see what else we got here. 2 to go, blue and red. They usually fall blue and red when we do this.
You been to Seattle?
I've been to Seattle several times, yes.
I've only been to Spokane. I've not been to Seattle.
Yep.
All right, taking a load off.
Take a load off. Wasn't there a lyric in a song?
You got to like a bear video. Let's see what the bear's going to do.
Is he dropping a load or taking a load?
$20 says he sits in the chair. What do you think?
Well, he's looking around. Let's see what's going to happen. Have you ever
Kind
encountered
of
a
feels
bear?
like me on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, really.
All right, let's see.
Have you
Come
ever had a
on.
bear encounter?
I have not had a bear encounter, nor do I want one.
Me either. Yeah. I did see Mildred the bear at Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina, but that's kind of a touristy thing. Wait a minute. It is going for the chair. Thinking about it.
Got to be going for the chair. He's not.
He
He's just
sat
sitting
down
next to the chair. He's just chilling.
Yeah. Sit down next to the
It's
chair.
like, it's almost, you don't see, I mean, like if you came upon a bear that was sitting like that, that looks like a friendly bear.
It does. But that bear's looking for those salmon in that river right there. That's what he's looking for.
You got to like the Will Ferrell movie Semi-Tough where he's fighting the bear in the ring and he has the safe word, Spumani. And then he starts screaming about the bear being loose, yeah.
Well,
I don't want a bear encounter. I'll tell you that much.
Me either. All right,
And we've got lots of bears in Alabama, especially South Alabama. There are a lot of black bears in South Mobile County, Baldwin County.
In the 10 stud delta or whatever it is down there.
Yeah, Tensall Delta. All right, bad fans.
Bad fans.
That could be anybody.
Could be.
Most fans are bad.
Bad fans. Ooh, Knicks fans.
Spurs fans got beaten up.
Yeah.
And that's not Tim Duncan getting beaten up by somebody wearing a Tim Duncan jersey.
That's right. Yeah, there were some fights after the game 3 loss. I saw some video of it. Most of it was Knicks fans beating up each other. But this guy's asking for it. I mean, it's kind of like going to Baton Rouge decked out in Alabama gear. Somebody's going to mess with you.
With a vehicle with a tiger tail in the back? Is that what you're saying?
Don't do it.
And somehow it ends up in the gas tank?
Or a car horn that plays the Auburn fight song. You don't do that going through campus in Baton Rouge. Stupid. Like this guy. He was asking for it. Come on, be smart, buddy. All right, man, a great day here on the program. I want to thank Senator Tommy Tuberville for joining us today. That was always great. And if you missed it, no problem. You can check it out on your schedule through all of our social media platforms. CJ Duncan as well today. Brian Matthews, Auburn Sports. Tomorrow, we'll check in with Jason Caldwell of Auburn Undercover. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Barry will be with us tomorrow from Omaha as he gets ready for Troy's first game on Friday against West Virginia. And speaking of Friday, Gurn, I believe you will be back in the box, as they say, while Barry is preparing for the Auburn game.
So you need to ask Barry about the Jello shot contest in Omaha and see if he's been to the establishment, if he's doing his due diligence for a pure reporter there in Omaha.
I will say this: maybe he's been, but I can guarantee you he has not partaken. I feel very confident in that. Leave it at that one. Gurn, thank you once again. Greatly appreciate it, folks. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We will see you again tomorrow.